Enough. Okay, so welcome to the final session, the fifth one, which is on staying focused. And we will learn a lot of things on how to be motivated in the entire process. We have been through all the four sessions, which gives a complete strategy on what to do and when to do and how to do. But the foundation for all those sessions is the last one, staying focused, how you need to stay focused in all the different phases, right? So this is very important, believe me. Yeah, if I have to say that what's my superpower, this exact thing has been my superpower. I have the ability to be focused no matter what, no matter how good my life is, no matter how bad my life is. So this is the key thing, and I would want to share this with you folks. So let's dive deep. Firstly, I would like to thank you all guys, because I get these messages a lot, and this is the sole thing that motivates me to spend my weekend, not enjoying but helping you folks, and it gives me a lot of pleasure and happiness because I connect with you guys. And I find myself in the same place where you all are. So it does help me. It feel good because I help you. But yeah, again, I like these messages. So that is something that motivates me, and I'm thankful for these kind of messages that I receive from you all. So yeah, that being said, let's dive into the agenda for today. The agenda for today is I'll be discussing these four things and a lot of other stuffs as well towards the end, starting with the four steps that can orient you from any level of addiction or distraction. Okay, I was in such a situation. I overcome those addictions or those situations, and I became very focused. I'll share what did I do. The second thing is the power of delusion. So how you should put yourself in a state of delusion, and then make it work for yourself in a good way. And then the third part, that is motivation, how to look at motivation. And for me, motivations are pills. So how to choose the right pill. And then there will be this section wherein I'll talk about some key learnings that I had over this entire phase, and what would be my pro tip. Finally, we'll have a question and answer session wherein have I'll open the stage for questions. So yeah, let's see. I'll try to keep it within 30 minutes, and then discussion will be around 30 minutes. Let's see. So, yeah, this is the transition. I'll just quickly brief about my state. In January, in the month of January this year, 2025, I was in a terrible state. Why do I call it a terrible state? Because I had done absolutely zero applications. I did not have any interviews. I had education loan, which was like pricking me. And I was also heartbroken because some things did not work out well for me. So all this happened in the month of December to January, December last year to January this year, and I was not at all in a good state. I was mentally washed completely, and I didn't know what to do. I was heartbroken. That thing was had like that thing was in my head. It had captured completely. I wasn't able to think what to do, what not to do. Those thoughts were there in my head. And then on the top of it, I was worried that I haven't done any job applications. Meanwhile, my friends were getting interviews. Uh, I did not have any interviews, which is quite natural because I did not do any job applications. I was so lost that I got an away from Amazon, and I did not even appear for that test because I was in a altogether a different zone. On the top of it, the education loan was a big stress on me, and a lot of mess was there around um, my life. Okay, in my life. So yeah, I was in a bad state, but that did not stop me from succeeding later on. Why? Because I followed a few things, a few strategies which helped me overcome those situations and be completely focused in what I'm doing. And turns out within a few months, all of my friends who were in a better state than me, they were praising me for the level of dedication and focus I had. Literally, the statements that I used to get from them and later on was, bro, how can you even do this? It's like surreal. It's unimaginable the level of focus and dedication you have. How can you not get distracted by anything? How can you be so into it, so focused, logged in completely, and focused on your work? Okay, so yeah, that was all about me. Um, and this was the before and after state. So let's see some of the things that worked for me. Starting with the four steps that I followed, which helped me orient myself from that state into this state wherein I was completely focused. Okay, so initially the screen time of my phone used to be around 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours during the month of January. I was totally addicted using my smartphone, and I spent a lot of time every now and then. I used to open my phone, look at, like, spend a lot of time on Instagram here and there, spending, like, doing nothing, not at all, being not at all productive. Okay, but I followed these four steps, starting with avoid. Okay, so it's very, very, very important, and believe me, each and everything I say here in the entire video, even if you diligently follow one of those things, you will be in a much better state. And if you follow all of this, you'll be doing amazing. Okay, so starting with the first step in the four-step procedure, it is called avoid. So what you have to do is you just have to avoid the distractions. You need not work. Okay, you need not build your resume. You need not do anything productive. Okay, that's fine, that's totally fine. So in the first phase, you just have to avoid all the distractions. If you are addicted to internet, addicted to Instagram, delete it, completely delete it. You don't have any choice. Just delete the application or disable your account for 4 to 5 months and then activate it again. Completely avoid the distraction. Okay, a lot of folks are addicted to going to parties. They don't feel like staying at home on the weekends and those kind of things. You need to bring a complete full stop to this, yeah, in this very first phase. Okay, once you are able to do that, you need not be you need not start working in this phase, right? You just need to completely detach yourself from all the detection, from all the distraction. The second phase uh, needs you to start working on your goal, whatever goal you have. In our case, we have the goal to get a full-time job, right? So you need to start working on your profile building, resume, enhancing your resume, these kind of things, right? So you just need to start. You need not be an expert here. You need not spend you need not be very, very, very efficient in this part. You just need to start from the start of the day till the end of the day. You just need to be focused on your work. You need not be efficient, that's totally fine. You just have your resume on your screen, you just have your profile, you just spend your time for building your profile. Okay, but entire day you need to dedicate to your work. Okay, you need not be efficient, that's fine. So for example, in the first phase, I deleted my Instagram, I disabled my account. I had I use an iPhone, so basically every phone has this feature. What did I do? I had a screen tracker. Okay, screen time tracker, which I placed on my home screen, which recorded the time that I spent. I decided it for myself that my screen time shouldn't go beyond 2 hours a day, no matter what. And I gave my word to my brother, and I told him that at the end of the week I will show you my screen time. And that helped me a lot, because when you set yourself accountable, you work much better. So that I did in the first phase, which is the avoid phase. In the second phase, From the day till the night, I used to sit in front of the screen, although I had some thoughts in my head which used to distract me. But yeah, I did not touch my cell phone. That was the best thing. And then I used to try to figure out what to do, whether to improve my profile, what all projects should I choose to build, and how to enhance my resume. What should I do? I used to spend a lot of time on my resume and profile building. I wasn't efficient at all, but I used to spend a lot of time. So for the first part, that is the avoid stage, I spent nearly 4 to 5 days. It was probably around a week. Okay. So around a week, I did not do anything. I did not even start working. I just avoided the distraction. But at the end of that week, I was in a state wherein I was able to avoid all the distraction. I wasn't anymore addicted. Okay. In the begin stage, I started working on it, which was very good. And then came the third stage, that is maximize. So here my goal was not just to work, okay, not just to work, but to maximize on whatever I am doing. The begin stage took me around a week or two, but then in the maximize stage, when I was in this stage, I decided to maximize my efforts. It's not just that the resume is open on my screen and I am just doing some time pass, or like I'm just trying to work at my own pace. No, I pushed my limits. I wanted to make the best out of it. I used to write down the time when I started working. I used to set a deadline, like short deadlines. Like within the next 3 hours, I should be able to enhance this part of my resume. Within the next 3 hours, I should be done with learning this particular concept, and which I will add on my resume. Right. So this is the maximize stage, wherein you have to maximize your efforts in a particular time, okay, for a particular time phase. So I was in this stage for nearly well, for like rest of my application phase, right? Because I was every time I was trying to maximize my efforts for any given time. And then the last stage is maintaining it, which is the most crucial part. I have seen endless number of people who are able to avoid distraction for 2 days, 3 days, or for a week. They are able to start working on it. They then they directly jump on maximizing their efforts, and then they are not able to maintain it towards the end. So this is the most crucial part, where you have to maintain the rhythm. Okay. So only when you maintain the rhythm, you are in a very good state, and you start accepting the difficult phase or the difficult transition that you are undergoing. So maintaining is very important. You just have to keep on repeating that. After a while, you will have the urge to start Instagram or whatever kind of addiction you have. You will have that urge. Only then it becomes a decider for you. If you are able to avoid that, hats off, you are going through it. So this is very important. This is the 4 step procedure that helped me overcome a phase wherein I was addicted with my smartphone. I was in a very bad zone. So this helped me. It took around a month, but at the end of that month, I was totally dedicated. Okay. So yeah, you can follow this procedure. The second thing is the power of delusion. Okay. So it's like you need to fool yourself, but in a very good way. Okay. You first need to believe that you have become successful, and then you need to become successful. It's like a little counterintuitive, but yeah, it works wonders. How? Let us look at it. See, there are these three things that you need to do. Firstly, imagine that you are already successful. You are working in your dream company, may it be Meta, Google, whatever the company is. You just need to imagine that you are already successful and working for your dream company. Now, the second step is to imagine, or like the first step is to imagine that there's a biopic being written on your success story. Okay. So if there's a biopic being written, how would you like to see the biopic to be? Okay. And you need to assume that every day that you spend in your life will be a particular page of that biopic, or a particular chapter in that biopic. Would you like to see yourself doing some random stuff, going out for an outing, enjoying your life, and not paying a lot of attention on resume building or profile building, not grinding enough, not putting enough hard work, and like being lacking passion, and still at the end you will say that you became a software engineer or whatever role you want at your dream company? It won't match, right? It won't summarize well, right? So you need to ask yourself every day, would today's scene deserve a place in that movie or in that biopic? You need to ask this yourself to yourself every day. And when you ask this to yourself, you will realize that, oh, it doesn't look good. It doesn't fit into the book, into the success book that it would be at the end, right? So this will help you. You need to imagine that there's a camera that is recording your life. You cannot just scroll on Instagram and then eventually you can say that I became a software engineer at Meta or Google, whichever your dream company is, right? So that will give you a small feedback, that will give you a realization that something is going wrong, because each and every minute, each and every second counts, and you need to make the max out of it every moment. And finally, if you get the answer as no, that no, whatever I am doing today doesn't feel like uh, uh, doesn't feel good and it shouldn't be a part of my success story, then you are doing something wrong. Then you should change your script and do something good. Okay. For example, believe me, I created a delusion for myself that I am a soldier. I used to believe that I am a soldier and I have come here for a mission. Okay. And what my mission is? My mission is to land a full time job. Until and unless I land a full time job, I am not going to enjoy. Okay. So these are the things that I did. I had very, very, very few outings, very few, like close to zero, very few outings. I had very few friends. Having a lot of friends is good. Okay. But then you need to spend some time to maintain that friendship, right? If there's a person who is asking you to, let's go for a lunch, let's go for dinner, let's go for this outing, let's go for this event, you will have to go, right? Because you need to maintain those friends. I had very few friends, but those friends were very good. So I had lesser friends. I could have enjoyed my life having a lot of friends, right? But I did not. Why? Because I had this thing in my head that I am a soldier. A soldier doesn't go for outings. A soldier has very few friends. They cannot just have call their friend from wherever they want and then just spend hours and hours talking on random stuffs, right? And they cannot just go for any events. Why? Because I used to believe that I am a soldier and I was in that belief. The third thing is that I did not go for any parties. I know it feels a little weird that you are here in this particular wherever you want. There are a lot of events happening, festivals happening, or this and those things happening. You have that urge of going there, but no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You need to control yourself. Why? Because you need to imagine that you are the successful version of yourself, and that person wouldn't go on a lot of parties and still be successful. It doesn't sum up, right? It doesn't sum up well. So I did not do any drinking, any smoking, nothing. I did not even have tasty or fancy food for the entire 1.5 years or 2 years. You won't believe, I think it is a little it would be a little extreme, but I had the exact same dinner for the whole 2 years, exact same breakfast for the whole 2 years. Only the lunch used to change a little. That is like super crazy. I know a lot of people are like, that is insane. How can you have the same food? But yeah, you need to convince yourself that you need to sacrifice something. There is a friction, so only when you sacrifice something, you feel, your body keeps on reminding yourself that you are sacrificing something. So if you are sacrificing something, why don't you sacrifice it all for short span of time and make the best out of it, come out of this phase and then enjoy your life. Now I have the kind of food I want. I go on outings, I go on parties and do all the things that I like. But during that phase, you need to convince yourself that you cannot have a luxurious life, or you cannot have a comfortable life. There's a reason behind you uh, basically you need to be focused and avoid these kind of distractions. Only then you will be successful. You need to keep on reminding yourself. I did not Cricket is like my favorite thing, but still I did not play cricket. Why? Because I used to consider myself as a soldier. A soldier doesn't get enough time, or they are on a mission, so they cannot just do random stuffs or whatever they like, right? Even the hobbies should be kept aside, which is this is very, very, very important. Believe me, if you are able to control your brain. Okay, so it's a step above. Your brain shouldn't control you. You should control your brain. You should create a delusion around your brain, and once you succeed in that, it will produce wonderful results. Okay, so every time my friends used to go on an outing, they used to ask me. I used to say no. The first time I said them no. The second time I said them no. From the third time onwards, they used to understand that my answer is going to be no. So they did not ask me. I used to feel bad, believe me. I used to feel a lot of FOMO. But yeah, eventually it did help me a lot. I got a job wherein they were still looking for it. So you need to sacrifice. That's the hard reality. That's the hard reality. As a human, we just have 24 hours. If we don't spend most of the hours doing one thing, then we won't be focused. And every new day, you will be at the same place. You won't be improving. You won't become a better version of yourself the next day. So yeah, this was something that I did. Even you can follow something which helps you, but dedication and these kind of sacrifices are necessary. See, if you don't want to do these kind of sacrifices, you will get a job after a lot, like after a long time. Why? Because you did not utilize the best time in the best possible way. So it will get delayed, and if it gets delayed a lot, you may not get a job, which becomes very, very bad. But I know everyone should get a job, and everyone will get a job if they are dedicated at a very early stage. Okay. So yeah, that being said, let's go to the next part. Motivations are pills. This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part, and this is something I think you won't find anywhere. So for me, motivations are pills, and we need to be very much self-aware to take the right pill. And why do I say so? Let's have some background on it. This is a graph that shows productivity versus stress or tension. Okay. And the graph is like this. If you take very less stress or very, very less tension, your productivity will be very less. Why? Because you are just carefree. You are not taking any tension or anything. Okay. You are just trying to enjoy and manage work both at the same time. Your productivity won't be high. If you start taking a little more tension or a little more stress, you will be focused. You will be worried about your future, and then you will start working on towards it. Right? You will be focused towards your goal, and you will be reaching the middle point wherein your productivity will be at max. But beyond that point, if you still take stress or tension, your productivity will start declining. Why? Because you will be anxious. You will due to that anxiety, you will start using your phone, or maybe talking to your friends, avoiding this difficult work. Okay. You'll be stressed. You might get ill. Those kind of things will start happening towards the end if you take a lot of stress. So there should be a right amount of stress or tension which will maximize your productivity. This is something that I very, 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 very strongly believe, and this is what I have observed for myself and a lot of folks out there. So you need to, the best that you can do is to be at the center point wherein your productivity will be maximum. And how do you do this? So how do you alter this stress or tension? There are different pills, and pills are equivalent to motivation here. Okay. So there are two different types of pills. Two different types of pills. Okay. The first pill will help you go towards right. It will induce some tension in your head. Okay. And who are the folks or people who will help you? Basically, those people will act like this kind of this pill. The people who are more successful than you. If you look at people who are more successful than you, XYZ person got a job at Meta, XYZ person is doing amazing at a startup company. These people, looking at them or hearing about them makes you feel a little stressed, right? And then it will motivate you to take more efforts towards your goal. Okay, these are the folks you should look at if you find yourself here. In the initial part, you are not worried enough, you are not stressed enough. Then there are other set of people who are more hardworking than you. If you see there's a person who is sitting day and night working for his or her goal. Okay, they are like spending like their entire time doing some research, building connections, doing this and that, spending like using nearly zero time for relaxation, or near zero time for any external activities like watching web series. They are basically not wasting their time at all. They are like very hardworking. So if you look at them, it is at a subconscious level we start getting motivated, right? If that person can do, why can't I do? If that person can spend 10 to 15 hours of his or her day for productivity, why can't I do? So these pills, so these kind of people act like this pill, which will motivate, which will induce stress in you. Okay, now let us look at the other pill. So if you find yourself here, you take a lot of more stress than needed. Okay, then in that case, what you need to do? You need to talk to your parents or siblings or friends. They will always motivate you. They won't say you won't get a job. They will always say that just be calm, be calm. You are doing good. Just be consistent, you will definitely get a job. Okay, so when and even your parents will always motivate you. They will be like, take care of your health, don't take a lot of stress, be calm. Okay, so that is how it is. If you talk to these folks and people who are less hardworking than you, if you look at them, you'll find, okay, even after having a little relaxed life, still you can be productive. So you need to decide where you are and which kind of pill you need to take. Believe me, I have seen people being in the left side here, and they take this blue pill, and then they go even left. Okay, then they are even less motivated, and turns out it works very bad for them, and they find themselves in an even worse situation. And see, these things happen at a very subconscious level, at a very subconscious level. Okay, so you won't even realize that which kind of pill you are subconsciously taking by having interaction with these kind of people, and where your position is shifting in this x-axis. Okay, so you should make yourself a little more aware. Okay, I find myself here. So initially in the month of January, February, I found myself here. I was very less motivated. So I always try to surround myself with people who are more hardworking than me, who are more successful than me. I used to talk to them. I used to get a lot of stress, but that stress used to help me because I used to move right, okay, and find myself towards the center. And after a point, I entered into this right zone wherein I was very stressed. I used to be anxious, and because of that anxiety, I used to start scrolling my phone. Our brain is like a small child; they trick us. Okay, so I used to find myself very anxious, and I used to be very stressed. What if this happens? What if that happens? And I used to not take great care of my health. My sleep was spoiled. Why? Because I used to be tense, and in a state of tension, you don't get in good sleep. Okay, so I found myself here. Then I started taking this kind of pill. I used to call my brother many a times. I used to talk to my parents. They used to be always supportive. And then I used to also look at some of my friends who did not uh, who did not put a lot of hard work, but still they were successful. So I used to console myself. It's really important to choose the right pill. So this is what we learn from here. Motivations are pills, and there are two types of pills, or two types of motivations. You should understand where exactly you are and take the right pill. This is solely one of the best advice that I can give you. The best advice. I have seen people taking the wrong pill and finding themselves in a very bad state. Okay, I hope you liked it. So this was really important. I hope you understood, because if you did, and if you follow this, it will definitely help you a lot. So let's go to the next part, the success graph, which is exponential in nature if you are consistent. It's important. The later part is important if you are consistent. Okay, so let's see what do I mean by this. These are, so on the y-axis, I'm plotting the results. Okay, the results that you will get. On the x-axis, I'm plotting the efforts. Okay, so once you started that, I'll be completely focused and I will do this and that for my goal. I will be spending a lot of time for my goal. I'll be completely dedicated and focused. The first month will probably yield no results or very, very marginal results. You will be like, I was consistent. I followed all the tips and tricks that Vivekananda or any other person gave me, but still it did not help me. It did not help me become a better person. Still, I did not get any calls. I did not hear back from any company. My resume is not getting converted. It's still getting rejected by the ATS. These are the feelings that you will get for the first 1 month. Why? Because the success graph is exponential in nature. But if you keep on doing that, if you keep on being consistent for a long time, the same 1 month of efforts will yield much more results. You see this part, it will yield much more results. Okay, so this is very important to have a feeling and be calm about it and be consistent, because when you are consistent, you know that initially you may not see a lot of results for that amount of efforts that you put in, but later on the same amount of efforts will yield a lot of results. And why do I say so? When I started doing my application in the month of January to February, I did not hear back from any company. It was like plain bland. Okay, but I slowly started getting a hang of it. The As I told you, right, initially in the begin phase, I wasn't maximizing my efforts, but here in this part, in the central part, I started maximizing my efforts. So for the same amount of efforts that I put, I was able to like the same amount of time I used to invest, I was able to put much more efforts, which helped me started getting a lot of interviews. So towards the end, even if I did very few applications, still I used to get a lot of callbacks. Why? Because I got a hang of it. I understood the formula and the strategy. Okay, the right things that are working for me. This will happen only if you are very much consistent. The first month will not yield any results, but later on, the last month will yield a lot of results. The same number of applications will give you a lot of callbacks and a lot of interviews. So be consistent, be calm. Don't just crib about you are not getting any job. Don't just tell your friends, I'm putting in a lot of effort, still I'm not getting a lot of jobs. So I won't put a lot of efforts. It's not going to work any which way. I have been doing this for the past 1.5 months. It's not helping me. No, it's not. It doesn't work like that. You need to be consistent, right? You need to be consistent throughout. And as and when you are consistent towards the end, you will start seeing the results only when you are consistent. So that's the key thing. Now, this one thing, you may think that talent is everything. No. For me, I have seen people who are talented, if they don't put in a lot of hard work, they will be left behind the folks who put in a lot of hard work, even if they are less talented than the talented folks. Okay. And even beyond hard work, there comes consistency. Even if you don't find yourself among the smartest folks out there, even if you don't think you are able to put in day and night hard work, that is still fine. But if you are consistent, every other day you are following the same routine, you will beat and defeat the people who are more talented than you and who are more hardworking than you. Why? Because consistency is the key, is the sole key in this job application phase. You need to be consistent. Only when you are consistent, you'll start realizing the patterns, you'll start realizing what is your strong zone, what is your weak zone, and it will definitely help you. For example, just giving you a fact. So when I started getting a lot, like a few interviews, Tesla and Qualcomm, I was appearing for these two interviews simultaneously. Okay, so during this phase, it was nearly 15 to 17 days I did not step out of my home. That is like crazy. All the groceries and food and stuffs, I used to ask my friends to get it whenever they used to go to shops to get the food. Okay, I was that focused. I did not even spend a single hour doing any time pass for complete 15 to 20 days, I did not even get out of my home. I know there were some consequences that came. I fell a little sick because of that. But yeah, that is the level of consistency I had. You need to be consistent. It beats talent and hard work. Okay, and this is the plot that shows how important it is. The second part is that, yeah, so the point to remember is that the success graph is always exponential if you are consistent, else it will be linear. Okay, else it may be like this linear, but you won't see, you will see the same growth or like the same results for 1 month of efforts as you saw in the beginning. Even later and even now it will be nearly the same. Okay, and if you are not even focused, then it will be flat. You won't see any results no matter whenever you try. So being consistent will make your results plot look like this, which is exponential in nature. Okay, so that's very important. Let's go to the next part. Yeah, so this is again very important, and this happens at a subconscious level. What am I talking about? We love fixing what's easy so that we can ignore what's truly needs fixing. What do I mean by this? I have seen a lot of folks, what they do is they like to, as soon as they get tension, any level of tension or stress, what they do is they just jump into applications. They are like, and now I will apply for 200 different companies, and now I will apply to 200, like 50 different companies, and these kind of things. Okay, what's the problem here is that when you apply to a lot of companies without even improving your profile, it's not going to lead you anywhere. And and our brain is super smart in tricking us by by doing these small activities, which takes away your focus from the bigger picture. What you should ideally do at that time, you should talk to that person, understand where do you need to fix yourself or improve yourself, what skills you need to learn, what kind of improvements you need to make on your resume. These are the important things that you need to do. But what your brain will ask you to do is to forget about these things and just go on internet and start applying to a lot of roles. And this acts like a little, it will basically fool yourself. Why and how? It will show that you are putting a lot of efforts, right? Because you spent a lot of time in doing 200 or 50 applications. But you, in this process at a subconscious level, you just ignored the fact that you need to improve your profile or improve your resume. So those are like more painful things, right? Applying to 200 companies, keeping your brain aside, it's like a easy thing. But your brain will fool you to focus on the less important thing. So it's really important to be very calm. Just to give you an example, that is equivalent to a young child giving excuse to their parents that I don't want to go to the school, instead I will study at home. Okay, so these kind of excuses is very much similar to what we do in real lives without even realizing. I have been in that phase. So it's like a child is saying this thing to her parent that I don't want to go to school and instead I will study at home. The study at home will be just for 3 4 hours or like even lesser than that. But she is trying to find a simpler uh, alternative, right? And by doing that, she is just avoiding the bigger picture of focusing and uh, basically facing the difficult world wherein you need to listen, sit for the entire 6 hours of lectures in the school, and communicate with the professor or whatever it is. Okay, so that is the analogy that I was able to build. And you need to take control of your emotions. You need to be calm no matter what. If there is a person um, talking to whom you get very much overwhelmed, you shouldn't just jump back and do applications blindly. You need to talk to them. You need to be calm. You need to hold your nerves and understand what exactly is needed from you. Okay, I see people saying, I have been applying for the past 8 months, it's not working out for me. You are not improving on your resume, you are not improving your profile. Why? Because if you would do so, you will be a better person than you were yesterday, and you will definitely end up getting a job. or at least callbacks. Not sure about job, but at least callbacks. But if you just fool yourself doing same number of applications every day with the exact same resume, with the exact same profile, you don't do new projects, you don't do anything good, then it's not going to yield any results. Why are you even expecting to see some kind of magic today with your exactly same resume? Okay, so again, this is very important. So the key thing to remember here is to stay calm and don't get driven by instant problems or instant motivation or instant suggestions. Okay, be or like small success. So be very, very, very calm and composed, know what to do, and then go ahead. Now, these are some of the key learnings that I had in the entire process of like in the entire journey of my applications. So the first thing, anxiety peaks at morning before and before going to sleep. So that is the time your anxiety is at peak. So avoid the usage of phone during this time. As soon as you wake up, don't look at phone, don't look at open your laptop and start doing applications on LinkedIn. Why? Because you are already anxious. And when you have that anxiety, if you start doing this, you will keep on doing that only. You will keep on just doing applications without even realizing that you are using the same resume, and if it did not work out for you yesterday, it may not work out, it will probably not work out for you even today. So use the initial first 1 hour of your day and the last 1 hour of your day for planning, for deciding what you should do. Okay, just to comprehend, look at this situation from keeping yourself a little distant from laptop and your cell phone. Okay, which is very, very, very important. Believe me, there has been endless number of studies that suggest you to be distant from your cell phone, mobile phone, these kind of and laptop, your work, for the initial and the last 1 hour of your day. I'll tell you how I used to do this. But yeah, let's go to the next point. Yeah, good sleep and health is very important. This should not be sacrificed. As I told you, one of the very few mistakes that I did was sacrificing a little on my health. So I did not pay a lot of attention on my health, which did backfire me. On for one of the interviews, I was unwell. Turns out I was able to clear that interview, but yeah, I wasn't able to give my best, and I had that guilt feeling because I spent a lot of time during the night. So see, there is a thing. If you spend a lot of time, if you are like over motivated at night, because the anxiety peaks at night. If you are like, I will learn this particular concept, and till the time I don't learn this concept, I will not go to sleep. Turns out you are not productive at night. You will spend 3 to 4 hours or probably even more. You may end up not even learning those concepts, and you will be spending like wasting your time. Instead, if you would have done the same thing by going to sleep early and waking up early the next day, you would have been much more productive and you would have felt better because your sleep did not get affected, your health did not get affected. So this is very important. While you are doing all of these things, you should never compromise on your sleep and health, because this is the backbone. You need to have a good car to race, right? If you don't have a good car in the first place, it's not in a great condition, then you won't be able to race well, even if you pick the best driver out there. That's the key thing. Okay. The third thing is late night work equals to vicious loop. That's what I talked about just now. I strongly believe that even if you are a morning person, night person, no matter what, as a human, there's a reason why do we go to school early? Why do we go to work early in the day? Why? Because psychologically, when you have not just psychologically, biologically, when you have a good amount of sleep, the as soon as you wake up after a good sleep, your mind is fresh, your body is energetic, and you can take up difficult things. So you need to avoid late night works. It affects your health as well as it's a vicious loop. If you go to sleep late today, you'll wake up late the next morning, again you will go to sleep late, and this will just go on and on. So it's my strong advice not to work late at night. And yeah, the other thing is that subconsciously or psychologically it makes you feel good that I was able to wake up, I was able to push my limits and stay up late at night to accomplish my goal. But subconsciously, or at a very high level, if you look at it, there is a flaw. You were not able to complete your work till whatever till your sleep time, and that's the reason you had to push. But instead your brain tricks you and tells you that you were able to extend the your sleep time, sacrifice your sleep time and work well. But what it's hiding subtly is you were not able to meet your deadline. Okay, so yeah, that is the vicious loop. You shouldn't work at night. You should just go to sleep, wake up the next morning and realize that you were not able to meet your deadline. So you need to work faster in the day itself so that you don't have to extend your sleep time. That is very important. Then comes this part. If you don't feel like you have a great profile, recruiters won't feel that either. Very important. Very, very important. A lot of us just use ChatGPT and these kind of things like LLMs to make our resume. And then when we look at our own resume, it doesn't feel great. Why? Because you haven't written it. You haven't used your handcraft. Okay. So till the time you look at your resume and you don't feel like it has some weightage, and the company, whoever like whichever company will recruit you, okay, and hire you, you will be able to produce some value to them. Till the time you don't have a strong belief about that, your resume is not going to stand out. Believe me, mark my words. I used to be in that thought for some time in between, that somehow if I get selected for any company, I will learn all the skills needed in the for that particular role, and I will be a very good person. Somehow I want to get selected in a company, or get a full time role at any company. But that doesn't work. You need to calm down your brain, and you need to convince yourself that until and unless you feel that you will be a value addition to a particular company, you won't be selected. And it works like that. Okay, so work towards your profile building and your resume till the time you yourself start feeling confident. When you feel confident, you talk about it confidently. It reflects on your profile, it reflects on your building connections, it reflects on your the lines that you put on your resume, and that is seen by the recruiters, and they will be feeling the same level of confidence for yourself. So these are some of the learnings that I had during the process. Yeah, and one more thing. So your image, okay? So your image gets built the way you want. If for the first time, if I sound very professional or aware about what's going in the market, the next among my friends, okay, the next time whenever they want to ask something about any AI ML, the newer technologies, they will come and talk to me. Okay, and that will set a pressure on me to be updated. Why? Because my friends think that I am always updated about what's going on in the world related to AI and ML field. So I will do more study, and then people will be more dependent on me. I will do even more study because more people are dependent on me to know about what's going on in the market. And that's how it builds up. That's how it builds up. Okay. So you need to have that kind of impression. You need to build that kind of impression. Once you have built that impression, it will grow exponentially in nature. So these were some of the key learnings, and just coming back to the pro tip or the pro giveaway that I have here, which is this Spotify playlist that I have made. Believe me, I can just keep on and on talking on and on about this particular playlist. It just works like a magic. It is very, very, very helpful for me. So this is a playlist wherein I have selected a few songs which are more, very much energetic and motivating in nature. So the very first thing that I used to do for the entire application phase was to just wake up in the morning, plug in my earphones, and playlist this entire playlist while I used to brush my teeth, getting freshen up, and having breakfast. This entire nearly 1 hour of playlist used to make me feel like I am truly a soldier. I am truly someone who is very much energetic. And then I used to enter, um, like start my work with very high confidence, very high confidence. It used to pump. The confidence used to be like super high. Why? Only because of this playlist. And believe me, it's, I know all of us know that it's psychologically proven that the kind of music that you listen to sets your mood. Okay, so it used to make me feel that I'm truly a soldier, and that's what I wanted to. And after that, it used to help me a lot. Even after getting a job, when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel that life is not going great at some days, or I'm not being able to do the work in the best possible way, I failed at something, I just listen to this music, and it just totally transitions me into this phase wherein I believe that I am the best. And believe me, if you have this kind of, if you start your day with this kind of motivation, it it transitions you into altogether a different beast. And then you work like anything. You work with very high confidence. You put in a lot of more efforts because you don't question yourself that will I be able to do that or not. After listening to this playlist, your questions change. You are like, I will have to do this. So there were a lot of scenarios, during that phase. I used to know, there was a phase wherein I did not get any interviews. I was failing at interviews, and those stuffs. But but this playlist helped me a lot. Even when I used to travel to college and get back, I used to just have this playlist on, and it used to orient me. It is very important. And I have already shared my playlist to a few of my friends who asked me for it. Why? Because they were surprised to know the kind of mentality and the strong level of conviction I was able to build, the strong level of delusion I was able to build for myself, right? And this was the playlist that helped me. I will be sharing this playlist, um, uh, on my, like, whenever I upload this video on YouTube, I will share that this playlist there, so you will be able to use it and take the advantage of it. It has a few songs in Hindi. If you don't listen Hindi songs, you may skip that. But yeah, it is just wonderful. It works like magic, and I still refer this. So yeah, with this, it brings us to the end of the session as well as the entire series. I really thank you all guys for sticking till the end.